Yes, people, it's the long-awaited return of the latest episode of the Deep Dive. I'm your host, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt, the writer, some say editor, the owner of From Bromley with Love .news. If you're listening to this on the audios, you probably already are a subscriber. If you're listening to this for the first time on the audios and you've just subscribed, thank you very much. If you're listening to this on YouTube, go and subscribe. Head to www.frombromleywithlove.news. That's where you can get all of the best written articles, the audios of this podcast, and everything Bromley FC related. It sounds like I'm being braggadocious, but it's true. It's where you can get the best material on Bromley Football Club. And yeah, it's all done by me. But with that all said and done, if you're new to this, welcome. If you're not, you know the score already. The Deep Dive, we talk all things Bromley. Last time I checked in with you all, it was myself and Peter Etherington, and we were talking about the fact that Bromley were yet to sign anyone. And Pete and I, generally speaking, were of the view that, listen, there's no need to worry. Andy Woodman has been at Bromley Football Club for the best part of 5 years. I think it's 5.5 now. And if Andy has taught us anything, it's that trust the process applies where Andy Woodman is concerned. Bromley will never be one of the biggest clubs in any league. They weren't in the National League. They certainly weren't in League Two. And they most definitely will be the smallest club in League One. So if we knew we had to trust the process in the National League, we of course have to trust the process in League One. Bromley, for the majority of players that Bromley sign, we are not going to be the first choice. Most players that Andy Woodman tries to sound out at this level, if they're not coming from a level below or 2 levels below, in the case of someone like Dion Woodman, chances are they are going to be playing the market and they're going to be trying to see what is the best deal that they can get relative to location, promise of playing time, etc. So when you add on top that Andy Woodman likes to wait to get the right character, the right player at the right fee or at the right terms, you can understand why at the time of recording on the 22nd of July that we are yet to complete our squad ahead of the League One campaign. But that notwithstanding, and for those of you who are watching on the visuals, you can see it on the screen. For those of you who are listening on the audios, I'll talk you through things. Using the nominal 4-2-3-1 formation, as things currently stand for Bromley, it looks like we have the following. In terms of goalkeepers, we have 3 goalkeepers at the club. Grant Smith, the incumbent number 1, is now going to be challenged by Machel George, who was signed on a free transfer, having been on loan at St Mirren in the Scottish Premier last season. He won the Scottish League Cup at St Mirren with a man of the match performance, I hasten to add, against Celtic, no less. So he had a successful season last season with St Mirren in so much as winning a trophy. He's signed on a free transfer. You already know that Andy Woodman loves his goalkeepers. We don't need to doubt anything about that signing. Woodman only signs good goalkeepers. So Grant Smith is in for one hell of a challenge this season from Machel George. And of course, number 3 would be Dylan Adai. So I can safely assume that the goalkeeping situation is sorted. Unless Dylan Adai may well go out on loan this season, I would expect that to be a likely thing to take place. But goalkeeper-wise, I think Bromley is sorted. At right back, to understand right back, you first and foremost actually have to understand centre back. So centre back was where we had the biggest deficiency in the squad. Jesse Deborah, we don't know what the state of play is yet. I'm still hopeful that Bromley will sign Jesse Deborah once he's got over his injury. Watch that space on that front. So Jesse has left. Zach Medley has gone to sign for York. Byron Webster retired. Carl Jenkinson, I don't know if he's retired or if he's going to find a new club. But the point is, at centre back, we were light. Sam Gerben has joined Wharton and Hersham. He was captain in their last friendly, actually. Well done to the youngster. So basically, Omar was the only centre-back left at the club. 2 have come in. Chance Hedman from Harrogate Town, relegated from League Two, and Dion Woodman from National League Wealdstone. Now, obviously, both of those 2 players are stepping up. Does that represent something of a gamble? I mean, Hedman is massive. Woodman is massive as well. So that will add to Bromley's usual kind of set piece threats and how we go about our business at dead ball situations. But it does kind of, when I look at those three centre backs, it does say to me that Woodman surely is targeting one more experienced centre back through the door. Will that be Jesse Deborah? Will that be someone else? I don't know. It's also worth pointing out to Bromley fans that at Harrogate, under Simon Weaver's tutelage, Headman played at right back. So for those of you watching the visuals, you'll see that next to Eiffel, I've got Chance Headman's name, because I think I could see a situation how Woodman possibly thinks wonders if he wants to use Headman at right back as well. If that's not in his thinking, and if he's thinking three centre-backs this season with two wing-backs either side, let's say Mendy and Eiffel, then probably it means that Woodman will be looking at another right wing-back or right-back to come in, but we'll have to watch that space. On the left-hand side, we've got Jacob Mendy. He's the obvious, just straight swap replacement for Idris Odeteo. But because Brooklyn Ilunga left to go to Hartlepool United, it does mean that there isn't a natural left-back replacement for Jacob Mendy. So I'm expecting some movement on that front, because I doubt very much that Mendy is going to be the only option on the left wing at left back. And also, again, going back to that idea of what if Woodman's plan is to play wing backs, and if that's the case, then you could in theory go Mendy and or Pinnock. If it's to play a flat back four, he's going to need another left back to challenge Mendy. In the centre of the park, Jude Arthurs has gone out, obviously to join Crawley, and Camille Conte has come in from Bristol Rovers. Now, of course, if you speak to certain Bristol Rovers fans, some aren't complimentary. I think, to me personally, I think that's just the rantings of a fan base that were unhappy with the season that they had last season. And if you were a member of that squad that wasn't bought in by Steve Evans, everyone's a scapegoat in that scenario. I think Camille Conte, if you speak to enough football people, Camille Conte is a League One standard player. He just had a bad time of it at Bristol Rovers. They were on the downtrend. We saw what happened last season when we played them. Until Steve Evans came, they were all over the shop. And I think players like Conte, Isaac Hutchinson's another one, where Evans came in, has basically decided, I don't really want them at the club. They've got their price and they need to go. Woodman and his scouting network have identified Conte as an upgrade on Jude Arthurs. Whether he's there to start in addition to Charles instead of Charles, in addition to Hondermark instead of Hondermark, time will tell. But for now, it's one out in Arthurs, one in terms of Camille Conte. And we just have to, like I said, we've got so many friendlies to play that we don't know yet how Woodman is planning to set up. What I will say about Camille Conte, though, is that when I spoke to some people behind the scenes and did my research, Rovers put out that Bromley had signed Camille Conte for an undisclosed fee. Based on people that I've spoken to, I think there's a bit of kidology in that, and that undisclosed fee makes it look like Bromley paid big money for Camille Conte. That may not be the case, and actually Bromley may have been the ones who got the better of that deal. But I guess it all depends on the people that you speak to as to where the truth is in that particular matter, somewhere probably in the middle. And then further up the field, let's just assuming Bromley playing a 4-2-3-1. On the left-hand side, you've got Machel Pinnock. Of course, you would expect that he will start. Ethan Archer has joined on loan from Luton Town for the whole season. He, normally speaking, is a left winger. So you assume that he challenges Pinnock. You've also got the idea, obviously, of Jacob Mendy as well. But I think that Archer, in the first instance, has been signed to play as a right winger. So whether that's a left-footed right winger, I don't know. Maybe there'll be somebody else to come in and play on the right. I don't know. Obviously, you've got Corey Whiteley, who was playing there a lot last season. So he could play there. So I think Ethan Archer, to me, is someone who can play all along the front line, left wing, right wing, number 10. And it's just about where Andy Woodman feels he can get the best out of Ethan Archer. Nominally, if you're looking at a starting lineup, I think you're looking at Pinnock, Thompson, Archer, if Ben Thompson is fit. If you're playing behind a sole frontman, then you go with Ben Thompson. With, of course, Corey Whiteley can play as a number 10 or on the right wing as well. So there's a bit of flexibility there. But looking at those faces right now, I would be shocked if there's not another addition coming in the front line, whether a natural number 10 or whether a natural right winger. I would be shocked if there's not an addition in that front line as well, because I still think we're a bit light behind the frontman. And then the one other area left of the so up front is where I think we don't need to have any discussions. He's got Cheek. Obviously, there's nothing to say about Michael Cheek. We know what we have to say about Michael Cheek. He's the goal god. I still expect him to get goals at League One when he's up and running. Adebayo's obviously joined from free transfer, but he's got a proven goal record in League One with Bolton Wanderers. And then, of course, you've got Nicky Kabamba. You would expect that George Evans goes out on loan. So Kader may leave, may go out on loan. I don't know. But striker is not a position that they're struggling for in any regard. So all of that notwithstanding, to kind of summate, what I essentially see here is I'd say that Andy Woodman's probably 70% of the way there in terms of what he's looking for his squad. Obviously, they're still in negotiations and discussions with several players. They're going to have to bide their time. That goes for loanees, that goes for permanent transfers. And by my reckoning, I think we're looking at the following. I think he wants another centre-back minimum, a left-back, a number 10, a right winger. What's that, 4? Arguably, you might even say a right back in there, arguably. Okay, so I think there's a minimum of another 4 or 5, let's say 5 players before Andy Woodman is completely satisfied with the squad that he's got going into League One. But that's the state of play so far. Obviously, there's some rumours online right now. I'm not really going to address them in this particular video. I'm not a big fan of the in the know type rumours. I prefer to talk on things when it's officially confirmed. I think a lot of people in that kind of social media space kind of get off on that I was the first to say X, Y, Z, whereas I prefer to have the conversation after the transfer has taken place so we can analyze and deep dive onto what it might mean, where that player fits in, and so on and so forth. So that's where we are. That's the state of play. First friendly is on Saturday against Crystal Palace. Bromley have said that Palace intend to send a senior side. It's not supposed to be an under-21 side, but we shall see. We shall see. Now Bromley are a League One team. I kind of feel like everyone now takes us a bit seriously in terms of the strength in depth of the side that they send. So we shall see. See you all on Saturday. As ever, a lot of people said to me last season, Mash, you don't plug your stuff enough. Well, here's me plugging it. Go subscribe, people, from bromleywithlove.news. Let me say that a bit clearer. From bromleywithlove.news. Go subscribe. And whilst you're on this video, if you're on YouTube and not on the audio, like, share, subscribe, hype, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff. Algorithm. I'll see you all very, very soon.